River Realms, they call it. What a fine poetic name for something as rotten and twisted as our land has become. It was not always so. Long ago, the old empire, the noblest and most enduring society created by humankind, spanned almost the entire continent of Zerine, the cradle of man. But after several millennia of progress and incomparable achievements, inevitably, the empire began to fall into stagnation and decadence. Desperately holding on to their privileges and resisting change while trying to avert the collapse of the realm, the emperor and his theocracy took to measures that were worthy of true despots in cruelty. Subjugating weaker realms, enslaving whole nations, strip mining foreign resources, oppressing imperial citizens, war on several fronts, genocide. Eventually, the gods could no longer tolerate such horrors wrought in their name. Foretold by an abundance of divine omens, they descended upon the empire to right its wrongs. Thus, in a chain of dreadful events that became known as the Calamity, they annihilated the empire in a matter of days. The gods then finally saw what they had done in their anger and confusion. It is said that so much grief and shame filled them that they were broken and they left this reality, never to return. The continent and its inhabitants seemed dead, but at length survivors began to crawl out of their hiding holes and faced a land that no longer welcomed them. Arcane anomalies, the fallout of the Calamity, now riddled the continent, and people realized that they had to share their new home with changed and twisted creatures. Terrible beings entered through the cracks in the tapestry of reality and rose to rule over the natives. In time, these new powers rebuilt the fallen empire in their own image, and the River Realms, now godless and vengeful, reincarnated from the ashes. The inhabitants of the land, such as I, now eke out a living under the crushing rule of the new empire. The continent itself constantly resists our every attempt at building a cozy home for ourselves. As travel is dangerous, many ventures specialize in transferring cargo and passengers over bleak and deadly leagues of land. Others try to take everything of value from said travelers, or attempt to find buried treasures among the ruins of the old empire. The leaders of the endeavors are, some say, the bravest men and women of the River Realms. Such a leader is called a Vagrus.
Vagrus. Oh. Okie dokie. Just popped out the second monster for today. And we'll get to it. Let us continue. Okay. So we're at the tower, right? Question is, do we continue with the tower? Visit the adventurers. No, it's just the same. Alright, I guess we just enter the tower again and see if we find anything this time. Not much. Explore the lower levels. Oh, we have to rest. It says you can't go. We have to just rest here. Let me try again. Anything happen? Nope. Anti-Spectre ward, please, yes. Let's enter the tower. Enter the study halls. I think we probably already read this, but let's do it again just to get into it. You take your companions through the large gate and emerge into a cavernous vestibule from which dozens of paths diverge. Corridors cloaked in darkness, spiral stairwells leading up or down, or archways opening into spacious halls. Everything from the drapes to the furniture is decorated with the tower's insignia, an ivory spire atop which sits the Eye of Acarius, the symbol of great insight. Around you are tables laden with scrolls and stationery, as well as shelves lined with books. You're without the shadow of a doubt in the study halls. But despite the elaborate design and decor, the place looks abandoned. A fine layer of dust covers most surfaces, and everything bears the telltale signs of neglect, including the once white marble walls. A strange cold permeates the hall, and you get the impression that you have stepped into a different world. It is as if time has stopped moving in this place altogether. Should that not make you uneasy, the faded echoes that remind you of sighs coming from certain directions certainly do. The pathways leading from here to the rest of the study halls are beyond count. The shifting nature of the tower's interior makes any attempt at mapping it futile. So the question is, will you take one of the paths nonetheless and delve into the maze beyond? Yes. You and your companions pass into a large, isolated study chamber, where you immediately notice tables littered with countless books. Moving closer to examine the contents of the volumes, you realize that they are not quite right. The letters are jumbled, and the text itself seems to shift all over each page. After turning up little else, you think about what to do next. Will you explore further? The depths of the sunken tower call to you. Keep exploring these holes. The next room you enter does not share the tower's uniform, subtle colors, but rather it appears as a resplendent chamber that sprawls out before your vision. In the middle of it is a great alchemical laboratory, surrounded by overgrowing plants, vines, and other flora. What is more, certain leaves and sections of the vast foliage before you have taken on a fluorescent glow, presumably due to their contact with potions or other alchemical substances abound here. You and your combs comb the area vigilantly. At length, you collectively come to the conclusion that there is a lot to be salvaged here, provided, naturally, that you have the alchemical and herbal knowledge to make your time here count. Use your knowledge of alchemy and herb lore to salvage as much as possible. Moving with great efficiency and knowledge of the surrounding materials, you and your combs set yourselves to the task of salvaging herbs with great vigor. It is a collaborative effort, and you lead the charge. In the end, the haul you take from the lab is considerable indeed. Plus 10 herbs, 10 bogweed, alchemical tools. Keep exploring. I just don't know, like, at what point do you turn back? Pushing through a large door into a small room, you come face to ghostly face with a group of spectral guards and scholars who are at first nonplussed by your presence. Then their ghastly visages animate with an otherworldly fury as they lunge forward, giving you no time to react nor position yourselves properly. Seemingly out of position, you and your combs do your best to counter with fervor. Alright. Well, it doesn't look like we're out of order or anything. Does she still have the blessing? Hold on, it's bugged. You can't look there. Does she have a buff on her? I can't see buffs here. There. She can actually damage them? Does she have the buff? I can't tell. I guess so. What are these sound effects? Holy fuck. This is crazy. Now, unfortunately, in order to damage both there, I have to do that. I don't know if that's worth it. Double evade? Oh. Ow. Is that gonna trigger? I guess not. I don't know how this works. Can you kick a ghost? No. They're not supposed to take damage? I don't really understand how this works. He can't do anything. AoE? Oh, double miss, man. No, she's down? Fuck. She's the one who can actually damage them. Ouch! The fuck? Oh, he's dead. AoE? Fuck. Well, we killed one of them. Holy shit, they do so much damage. There we go. After the final foe is slain, you inspect the surrounding area in the hopes that you turn up something of value. A short while later, you and your combs recover some spectral residue left by the vanquished enemies. 1 spectral residue. Alright, let's keep exploring. You enter a large hall shrouded in unnatural darkness, where any illumination your combs attempt to employ is rendered borderline useless. Despite not being able to see much, you hear a sudden alarming sound. There's no time to analyze the situation. You have to act right now. You'll need all your agility and skill to avoid this peril. It's a trap. Yet due to your agility, you manage to avoid its harmful effect as it triggers. Thus, nobody gets hurt. You get away from this place as fast as you can. Your sense of direction is getting muddled, and no wonder. This place is transient, shifting and moving around you as you explore its secrets. Transient or not, you're still very much in control and choose to go deeper. Moving into an impossibly long corridor, you spy pale, otherworldly lights dancing in the distance. At the source of the lights are several offshoots of the hallway. Though through a sense of impaired spatial awareness, it feels impossible to judge their distance. In fact, you get the distinct feeling that the ground beneath you is shifting, slowly but subtly defying the laws of the natural world. You consider what to do next. You can feel a pull at the edge of your consciousness, though for now it is easily abated. A question forms in your mind. Will you keep descending into the tower? Yes. Arriving into a large study hall shrouded in twilight, your senses are beset forthwith by a dull humming drone that continues to penetrate your eardrums while you explore the area further. There is an unsettling smell and taste here too. The air feels pungently sweet, while a metallic acrid taste lingers in your mouth. You search the area quickly. Having found nothing, you ponder what to do. Yep, continue to explore. Crossing the threshold into a new room, you pick up on something not being quite right. You do not have the time to take a good look around when you catch a glimpse of sudden movement from the side. It's a trap! Alright, we avoided that. Press on undeterred. As you enter a smaller, enclosed study area, it swiftly becomes apparent that you're not alone. You can see numerous sentinel-like orbs of arcane energy lurking in the room's corner. They become agitated almost immediately and advance toward you. It seems they have detected an intruder. You and your combs quickly position yourselves, though fighting in such limited space makes matters difficult. No! Oh, whew. I was afraid it was gonna... I was afraid it was gonna do damage. Vomit is not magical, so it doesn't do damage. One down. Nice heal. She's bad against everything, I swear to God. It's got 100% fire res, but 70% magic res. I haven't found another spellcaster in the entire game, so can't really do much about it. He's got his little rune, that's about it. AoE. Nice. You watch as the last of your foes is vanquished, and your companions recover in the aftermath of a battle well fought. A short while after, you direct them to search the area. A jewel of some value turns up. Common jewel. Surveying your surroundings, it seems that things have changed. The path behind you seems blurry, and you begin to question your ability to discern a way to the surface. Your companions suggest that turning back at this point would be wise. They feel equally affected by this place. Take heed of your companions' words and head back to the surface while you still can. Coming up from the depths of the tower is a disorienting and perplexing experience. The first thing you notice is the change in temperature. The permeating chill is slowly alleviated, and you feel almost as though you have reconnected with a tangible sense of time itself. The shifting, befuddling experience of the tower's deep interior becomes an afterthought as you and your companions reorient yourselves, finally arriving at the vestibule. Head up from the vestibule out of the tower and down into the camp. As you make your way out of the tower proper and back to the voracious sands, you're once more beset by the unrelenting, oppressive heat that beats down on the region. The sloped dunes that lead downward are dubious at best, giving your party cause to tread lightly as you descend, moving away from the tower's looming silhouette. You return to your comitatus. This is... Ash. I'll be honest, like, what did we gain here? In like a whole day, I gained like 1 spectral dust and 10 herbs. Like, this is genuinely horrendously awful. Maybe there's something worth here. I don't know. We can try again, I suppose. One more delve. So I do kind of need to heal, because there are actually enemies down there. Or you need spectral residue to get unbinding. That's for 12 days. Okay. Who should we put that on? I feel like it's Harvick or Garrick. Most likely. Because honestly, they're all kind of ass. I actually think Krivta is probably the best one to put it on. He's actually kind of not the right choice because he's only level 3. But can't heal again. Right, pick a direction. Let's go. While exploring the next several corridors and chambers, you begin to feel as if you were being watched. The sensation does not pass. Indeed, it becomes stronger and stronger. Then, turning a corner, you come face to face with the specter of an elven woman. She's wearing the robes of a mage as well as enchanted jewelry. You and your companions reach for your weapons instinctively, but the spectre raises both hands before speaking. Thou should not fear me, Seeker. I mean thee no harm. Nay, quite the contrary. I offer you counsel in this forsaken place. Please, let us avoid hostilities. Let us avoid hostilities and converse like cultured beings. Since neither she nor your immediate surroundings manifest any sort of threat, you lower your weapons and step closer to the spectre who introduces herself. As preceptor, Lelithiasin. I was once an esteemed teacher in the Tower of Acarius and a member of the council that governed this place, she tells you in a melodious voice. In the past millennium, most of my former colleagues gave in to insanity and despair, transforming into vengeful spirits. However, I remain. It is oh so seldom that I can converse with visitors such as thee, and so this is a blessed day. You ask her how she seems so coherent and conscious, while the other spectres are almost always out to get you. Perhaps it is because I am an elf, born of a noble family exceptionally adept at sorcery, she replies. Or perhaps it was luck, or else the will of the gods. But thou art right, Seeker. Most of my old colleagues and pupils are suffering. Hark! Would thou be willing to listen to a proposition that would help them? You ask her to explain. When the great cataclysm reached the tower, many of us sought refuge in the deeper chambers. Lelithiasin begins. The Star Garden was chosen as a shelter. Our council sought to place powerful wards around it and seal it with the most potent magic. It was a wise plan, but the cataclysm's thaumaturgical nature subverted the wards and obscured the Star Garden. And so shelter turned into prison. I was fortunate. I was outside the garden when it happened, but so many of us were caught in this terrible trap. They have been there for over a millennium. The mage hangs her head in sorrow. We are dead, Seeker. I know, she says quietly. Yet their fate, trapped in that place for so long, without even the hope of ever moving on. It is the cruelest I can imagine. Ever since I've been trying to ask for help from visitors such as thee, but so few come here and so few are willing. You ask her how she is planning to breach the seal. Most of the seals on the tower's wings and districts can be breached by possessing the right key, either a sorcerous object or a particular spell, she replies. The seal on the Star Garden is no exception, although it is impossible to break it from the inside. My colleague, the esteemed High Preceptor Arhasis, kept the secret of unmaking it recorded on a memory crystal. I have since located this item in his office that is deep inside the Crystal Archives, another district, and yet I cannot obtain it, nor any of the keys, as I have lost my bodily form long ago. But thou, Seeker, could find these and bring them to the vestibule where the seals would be broken, one by one. I know that thou art looking for something down here too, so it would behoove you to aid us, else thou will never be able to find the right keys, not in 100 years. We'll work together, it seems. Very well, Seeker. I knew that I could rely on thee. The spectre's solemn expression turns into the faintest of smiles for the first time. Go forth then, I say, and seek the keys. The spell of opening in the diary of Narma here in the study halls. Those will break the seals on the dormitories and the lecture halls respectively. Then seek the imbued key of the captain of the honor guard in the dormitories to be able to enter the library. The scepter of the Bibliothecaris Prefectus in the lecture halls and the glyphs of the Seeker in the library will both be required to break the seal blocking the path into the Crystal Archives. Once there, thou will have to find the workshop of High Preceptor Parhassus and obtain his memory crystal. You take note of these as you have a hunch that finding all the keys will take a lot of time. Sadly, I cannot accompany thee on this journey. I can barely gather enough strength to appear and converse with thee like this, and I'll need all my power to aid thee in opening the seals. Whenever you find one of the keys, take them to the vestibule. There we shall break each lock, so that you can explore more of the tower, Seeker. You tell her that you will do so. Preceptor Letithiasin then bows her head slightly. I shall await for thee in these haunted halls, Seeker, she says, then fades into thin air. Keep exploring. Moving into an impossibly long corridor, you spy pale, otherworldly lights dancing in the distance. At the source of the lights are several offshoots of the hallway. Though through a sense of impaired spatial awareness, it feels impossible to judge their distance. In fact, you get the distinct feeling that the ground beneath you is shifting, slowly but subtly defying the laws of the natural world. Keep exploring. It's the same one again. Go deeper. After entering a subsection of a larger study hall, you are instantly set upon by a group of spectral elves, equipped as they once were in life as guards. There is little time to position yourselves, though by the time the frightful wights reach you, your companions are ready. They pile in and quickly a fight is underway. Let's get them. Wow, 1 damage? She ignores armor. I think ignoring armor is one of the best things in the game. Dude, these sound effects are insane, man. I genuinely don't understand how you can put something like this in the game, test it even once and be like, yep, that's fine, and then like not just and then just not tweak the volume at all. Like I don't get it. It's so insane to me. We're doing 1 damage, 1 to 2 damage, and he blocked, so never mind. We didn't do it. Ooh, big crit. Damn, huge crit. After the final foe is slain, you inspect the surrounding area in the hopes that you turn up something of value. A short while later, you and your combs recover some spectral residue left by the vanquished enemies. You begin to think about what to do next. Ooh, 3 spectral residue, that's huge. Transient or not, you're still very much in control and choose to go deeper. As you finish climbing a set of stairs, you emerge into a spacious dark room. I feel like in order to go here, you should at least have as much spectral residue as you have characters that don't have magic damage. And then you can just like maintain it by just killing specters down here, I think. As you finish climbing a set of stairs, you emerge into a spacious dark room. There is a low rumbling sound emanating from below the floor. To make matters more peculiar, you feel as though something is lurking unseen, watching you. You order your companions to fan out and explore the chamber, but it turns up nothing, leaving you confused and confounded. You ponder what comes next. You can feel a pull at the edge of your consciousness, though for now it is easily abated. A question forms in your mind. Will you keep descending into the tower? You will. It is time to explore further. As you press forward into a darkened, narrow corridor, you are suddenly ambushed by glowing orb-like sentinels and specters of the tower's former inhabitants. The grim entourage surges forward, and with little or no time to prepare, the battle is joined. Steel yourselves against the onslaught. Bam! 1 damage. Okay, he was not the right choice. But honestly, no one else would have been a good choice either. I think maybe Riven could have been the good choice here. Because this ignores armor a little bit. His furtive stab. So does knife throw. Yeah, Riven would have been a better choice. Nice heal. Oh. Am I stupid? Like, doesn't this do anything? 3 fire damage. Oh, is that what it does? It just applies some damage over time? Immune to taunts? Come on. Oh. Garrick would also have been a good choice. He just does a lot of damage. And he does so much damage. I mean, it does say penetrating, so I guess maybe the pistol does ignore armor. Yeah, this ignores armor fully. Yeah, so he would have been good. Yeah. You watch as the last of your foes is vanquished and your companions recover in the aftermath of a battle well fought. A short while after, you direct them to search the area. A jewel of some value turns up. Continue to explore the study halls. You descend a wide ivory staircase and find yourself standing in front of a half-collapsed alcove adorned with various reliefs and symbols of the tower. Debris that fell from the top section of the alcove covers most of the space. Some small objects are visible protruding out of the dusty rubble. You carefully remove them to see if they are any good. One of them is a statuette, and it is surprisingly intact. You take it with you. You and your companion steady yourselves, but all of you feel it now, a foreboding sense of uncertainty that looms at the foundation of your very beings, threatening to bubble over. The continual shifting of the halls around you is unnerving, but you remain resilient. Whatever the case, it falls now to you to decide if you wish to press forward. Let's return. You got ivory, no, a marble statue, right? That. Something here? Okay, it was just a marble statuette. Yeah. Like, so far, this doesn't make up for the cost of being here. And I actually have to leave because I'm running out of resources. Which means we have to head up to Larnak. Everything else kind of sucks. Tectum Carvos probably doesn't have any supplies. And that's what I need, supplies. No hunting here. Double pay. Uh-oh. Defend the beasts. $11 trophies. We can't force all the way over there. Which way is closer? I think this way. Maybe. Actually can't really tell. Both ways were bad. What am I smuggling? Oh, bog leaf. Hmm. Around the Mancio and other sources of local gossip turns up some intriguing developments. People speak of sandworms re-emerging in larger numbers than before to the south. As with everything, half the city believes it is nothing to pay mind to, while the other half feels this is the beginning of the end. Some even go as far as alluding to the Iscori's involvement. Apparently, these insectoid envoys arrived at the city some months ago and quickly built their hive onto the very rock face of the largest cabin, allegedly with the city's permission. Now some theorize that the worms, being carapace-covered beasts themselves, have re-emerged in time with the Iscori's arrival because there is a connection between them. Nobody knows for certain, of course. Check if your order has arrived. It is here, Vagrus, says Xandros gleefully. Let me get it for you. He goes to the back and returns with your book bound in surprisingly smooth leather. It is volume 4 of Bestaris Imperium. Bestaris Imperium is the most famous written bestiary, even though few have been lucky or persistent enough to collect all the numerous volumes that have been published and republished throughout the centuries of the Fourth Age. This volume includes entries about reptiles like the Krawag, the Ifriani, and the Slerad, among others. Plenty of things to learn for sure. Yep. Let's order another book. A book about non-imperial gods. A book on Sargot Kala. Sure. Good choice, if I may say, Xandros confides. Once you make the purchase, it'll take a week for me to get the book here through my channels. Don't forget to come back and pick it up. Alright. Take a look around the pools. The district echoes with the labor songs of plantation workers and the yelling of drunkards. The faint phosphorescent glow of bright kelp over the pools and terraces paints the field in an almost otherworldly light. As for anything of note, you're out of luck this time. Nothing happens, so you return from your stroll after a while. Let's see. All right. Visit the bumbling boatman. Fish around for rumors. The rumors are really not that interesting. Talk to patrons about the Forsaken Colony. No, we were not supposed to do that. Purchase booze for your crew. +2 morale. Taste the local brew. Yummy. I don't know. Can we bring like more overseers or something? Ranger. Peltas. Necromancers. Slave drivers. Here. Taskmasters or slave masters. Overseers, maximum 3. I don't know how much, like, I think I brought one, but I don't know if I brought more than that. So this guy is a slave driver. That means we should be able to. We can try that. Then we hire some fighters. I kind of want to go buy obsidian. Obsidian. Ivory. I don't know. Where was that? Iosian Quarry, 4. Yeah, I kind of want to go to the quarry to buy ivory and obsidian. And then we come back, buy more warriors. And then we take it all down there again. But if we want to go to the quarries, then we're gonna head by Fort Viridium. There you want chitin, which we have tons of. Bright kelp, obviously. Oil. Is this a good oil price? $17. Omphalat. Yeah, it's a good oil price. Drusian Quarry says 100 mushrooms for 8B. Can't buy 100 mushrooms here. But we can head by Mirage. Mirage, Crystal. Yeah, something like that. So what else? Linen. Is a good linen price? $9. Yeah. So we want 45 linen. Not that much linen here. Unless that's 30 linen. Nope. Maybe we can get some more on the way. 25 luxury wine. 35 coffee, but the coffee isn't worth buying anywhere here, I think. 100 mushroom. Linen 50 grain. Is this a good grain price? 17. No, it's not. Vitrar 13. Omfalat 13. Vitrar. That's so far away. I don't want to go all the way there. So the question is 50 grain costs 17. Or how much grain is it? 20 per stack. So if it's 8.6 times 50. That's more expensive than what I get out of it. Okay. I think we'll just go with that. Port refugees. That's the opposite direction. We're not going all the way to Karnak, not to Devon. I just want to go to the quarries. And that's it. Alright. We'll go to Mirage. Yeah. There's a cursed wind. Slaves don't get fruits. Alright, can we stock up on what we're missing? A little bit of that. No mushrooms. No luxury wine. Buy 2 stacks of dried fruit. Sell that. No, there is luxury wine here. Not enough. Dried fruit. Seven. 6. Also hire some fighters. I mean, first thing that can happen is we have to go to Torzag to get the rest of the luxury wine, I suppose. But all right. So now we go to Crystal. I suppose. I don't know, like, was the 15 dice supposed to go to somewhere in particular? But I don't think so. Well, actually, was it the golden thing? Yeah, 15 dice and 30 bright kill. Okay, we have that. So we just need to go to Crystal. No, Lumen. We can finish that. Meanwhile, Titan is worth selling here. They want 20 chitin. We have that. What about the spice? 1.5 spice. It's the same price, more or less. We can sell it here and buy some crystals instead. We got the wine. If I had bought 2 salt, I would have had the salt, but I didn't. Screw it. They have no mushrooms. That sucks. I was assuming that this was gonna like build like go somewhere with the There's the magic, sorcery, heat shielding crystals instead of whatever. I'm gonna save just in case I forgot something. Just race through. Candake's request. Hand over what you brought her. Well, isn't that nice? Candake smiles. We're actually making progress. Thank you, dearest Vagrus. Keep up the good work. Speaking of which... Ready to take the next step? She asks. You nod. Timber and copper, Candake says in an uncharacteristically vehement tone. I need them like yesterday. What am I going to do without timber and copper? Copper and timber. She seems to be on the verge of panic. Levantius, why didn't you remind me? Because you didn't tell me we need them, Domina. Her assistant replies calmly, but you can see his left eye is twitching. You decide it's better to leave and get them the goods in question. Okay. These are looking to go to the Iosian. Yep, we're going there. And these guys all want to go to Larnac. That's just double checking. Haven't played in a while. Yep. Alright, they can come too. Fighters. Why is my consumption so low? Considering that I have 55 fighters. Can't get the mushrooms, unfortunately. But... in that case, I'm just gonna sell them here. Buy more supplies. So where do we go first? Vagrus seems like a bad choice to go first, because I want to buy... It almost has to be Fort Viridium. And it's in Drusian and Fort Viridium that we can get rid of things. Maybe we can sell some dried fruit. We have to get rid of it a little bit here and there. Yeah, sure. All right. Let's go to Vagrus. Today seems kind of odd. The comitatus starts early, the beasts and the crew work hard, and the scouts do not report anything out of the ordinary. Even the grub for lunch tastes better than usual. There's no need for setting anyone right, and the comitatus covers a bit more distance in the afternoon. It is a good day. +3 movement, +1 morale. Alright. Dried fruit isn't really worth that much here. Which is unfortunate. Because they don't want anything here. I guess the question is this the best obsidian price? No, Drusian is better. Alright, well then I guess we don't really need anything here. Vagrus Quarry is a huge hole bored into the steep side of Sergorod's Blade. It is large enough to house a veritable city in the middle, while slaves mine for ore ferociously. On the southern side, the forum is a site of commerce, made of beautiful red marble, yet covered in so much grey dust that the original color is barely visible, even though a flock of slaves cleans the place ceaselessly. The banners of House Darius fly on pillars, frontispieces and battlements. A plump old scribe approaches you on behalf of Iulius Claudius Faustinianus. The obsidian production levels increased since the employment of a crystalmancer, and he is ready to give you your reward. The manners of the old scribe are pleasantly obsequious. Okay, that's a word. Obsequious. Someone who is overly eager to please, praise, or obey someone in authority, usually in an insincere or servile way. He chats, flatters, and smiles all the way to the stodgy building, which serves as the administrative center of the quarry. Then he starts to talk business, cites the recent mining numbers and the weekly differences due to the Crystalmancer's involvement. You have no way of disproving or even just understanding the whole of the presentation. He swears to several gods, and most prominently to the tribune Julius Claudius. So all in all, your share in the recent improvements of our productions is 3 full carts of obsidian, but as you have provided the Crystalmancer in question, a very fine lady indeed, I have to double it. He smiles, clearly expecting you to smile back. We have already shipped those to your comitatus with the compliment of Julius Claudius Faustinianus. Speaking of him, you might want to pay a visit to the esteemed tribune. I heard him alluding to a further fruitful possibility of successful business cooperation. It probably means meet him right now. You nod and leave. 40 obsidian. That's nice, but it also means that I need to delete things. But I guess that's not that big of a deal. We can just sell things for like plus minus 0. That doesn't matter. Julius Claudius Faustinianus greets you as a friend and offers you the drink you chose the last time as your favorite. He asks you about your recent exploits and talks about the recent news from places far away. That man is very well informed for a mere tribune. Then he starts talking about the situation in the quarry. The employment of the Crystalmancer did wonders to our exploration and preparation processes. The increase in production was significant enough to push the quarry into the realm of profitable enterprises in the foreseeable future. In itself, it was a huge achievement, something the people who burdened me with the rescue of this money-leaking hellhole did not expect. This is not exactly the story you heard from him when you first met, but you don't ask for and wouldn't receive further details. You tell him that your cooperation until now was a profitable and welcome one. And I hope it will continue to be. There is one thing I wanted to hear your input about. Our production levels still lag behind what they do in Drusian. They still do something much better than us, and it's not tools or technology. We already checked that. So the conundrum I have to resolve is the following. Why do the workers in Drusian produce more and higher quality obsidian than the ones here? You admit that you do not have a good answer to that. Then I would have a business offer. I would like you to go back to Drusian and look around again, snoop a bit and find a plausible answer. As in the previous case, there's no time pressure, but your solution to this problem would be worth 3 bras to me. Are you interested in this little venture? No. I mean, 3 bras is like 1/4 of the cost of traveling there and back. Tell him that you will go there with open eyes. After drinking to this, you leave him to his work. Oh man, it was 4 stacks, dude. That's tough. What do we sell here? It has to be fruit. But after that, it's like, Do we really sell supplies here? Because the ceruleus is not worth selling here. I think it has to be the supplies. Or more dried fruit. The dried fruit isn't really worth that much, I think, either way. Like, food generally isn't. Yeah. It's the smallest loss we can take, I think. Okie doke. Oh, come on. This bug is new. It's super weird. Freelance Comitatus. Wait. No, I have no reason to attack these guys. Visit the quartermaster. Here's your luxury wine. This stack of supplies is so stupid. Here's your bright kelp. Your oil. Your chitin. And that's all we got for this place. Okay. Can hunt here. But hunting sucks. Like, I feel like you never find anything when you go hunting. Okay. So they don't sell obsidian here, really. And the price isn't terrible, is it? It's not good, but it's not bad. But we're here for ivory. That's about it. And then is going up here the fastest path? Think so. Hold on. Uh, I'm trying to... Vagrus bug report. Is there like a button? Because I know there's one in the main menu, but I can't access that from here. Oh, that doesn't work. Hold on. They unfortunately don't fix bugs. Like, I've reported literally like 20 bugs in this game, and not a single one has been fixed so far. And they do fix bugs, but the bug fixes are like once a month, and there's like 2 bugs fixed, and it's never the ones I reported. F1. Okay. Let's see. Bug. User interface. Banner of player in the crew combat opening menu. Oh my god. Bugged banner in crew combat. The banner in the opening menu of crew combat is bugged and just displays a big white rectangle with the strength and defense on top of it. It happens almost all the time in the latest version. The player banner, let's see, the player banner in the crew combat. It's not just in the opening menu. And persists until I restart. And then it just comes back very soon. Sure. Roaming undead swarm. This is defending equally. I think the undead are just gonna attack anything it can. You can't make them flee, So the best thing you can do is do more damage, I think. So both flank and bushwhack does damage. So if we just do that, and then we just kill him. Ouch, fuck. All right. My guys are exhausted. We'll have to chill here. Still fatigued. Sell goods. Linen. That's pretty much all we have, I think. Exquisite weapon. Taskmaster. And they wanted taskmasters or slave masters. Overseer. So the guy I have, he should be a slave master already. Or it said slave driver or something, I think. But it should be that. It should be right. Visit the merchant Lord Valabentu. That's really all we can do. Like, that's really gonna be pushing it, but we can probably make it to Larnac before we starve to death. And then we head to Tectum. Should be okay. Spy for Vagrus. This might be an extensive investigation. As anybody who has been to the Drusian, you do not descend into the huge basin where the actual mining is conducted. Your goal is the walled-off compound on the precipice of the Great Pit. But how are you going to go about spying on their operation? Try to sniff things out at the Onyx station of House Okwo, provided you are well connected. You go to the largest building on the forum, the administrative center. The arched corridor leads into the patio. I don't know. Is it patio or patio? Patio.
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 The patio. The patio. You walk in and greet people, ostensibly looking for business opportunities. Under their linen canopy, the curator Mercatores are quite busy as usual. They receive you with smiles and interest, but after a few sentences, you just get sent around and round between officials. That is your goal, however, to get to know people and find someone who has experience in several quarries, hopefully in Vagrus too. Then you can get inquisitive. In the shade, by the small fountain surrounded by green leaves, many people gather to cool off and chat. You work the crowd, smiling, asking and prodding. Then you hit gold. An old half-eyed block of a man boasts about his experiences as a miner and mercenary. Sounds professional too. You call for some chilled wine with water and approach the man. Sounding deferential, you slyly verify his pedigree. It checks out. He used to be a mercenary, then worked for 3 trading houses, and has been assigned to several quarries as a slave supervisor. Then comes the hard part. You act interested and pump him for specific information. What are the differences among quarries? What makes a mining operation efficient? How do they do it here in the Drusian? Why is that so outstanding when it comes to production? He talks much, but also gets interested in you and throws a few questions back. A man of quick wits, you might have raised his suspicions with your quite pointed questions. You deflect the questions and flatter him unabashedly, sounding like somebody admiring the knowledge and experience of an older wise man. You ask him how he would do the operations of a quarry. It turns out that in the Drusian they treat the miners well and motivate them with rewards for good work. Even the slaves receive bonuses for working hard, and they are allowed to accumulate money to liberate themselves from debt slavery. The system is quite sophisticated, and the old man swears that just by giving the people shares in their own success, the Drusian can do much better than other mining operations he saw. That sounds quite interesting. You ply him with wine and ask for details. In the end, you have a pretty good understanding of the system's intricacies. Time to report your findings to the tribune. No. We only have 3 days worth of food. This is gonna be ass, I think. But YOLO. Can you even go through there? I actually don't think so. But I don't want to either. We just go up here. We made it. You reached the fortified gates of the great city, after waiting your turn in the line of chatting travelers, bleating beasts of burden, swearing loaders, exhausted slaves, decrepit pilgrims, and fellow Vagri. You are greeted gruffly by guards under the shadow of the gatehouse. We have too many armed men. You have an idea how to exploit the armament laws. You tell most of your armed crew to stay back, divide into smaller teams. Wait a little, then enter the city and seek you out at the man show. Once this is settled, you are ready to walk up to the gate. I'm sure that won't come back and bite us in the ass or anything. Whoops, I didn't mean to sell. Okay, got rid of some flabo. Now, hopefully, this amount of obsidian actually gets me somewhere. And hopefully, there wasn't an obsidian limit. Obsidian and ivory, yeah. But I would be surprised if this is still enough. I'll be honest. Okay, 5 days of food. And then we head towards Tectum Carvos. Uh-oh. Save the beasts. Didn't take any damage. Yep, that's gonna have to be it. Delete that. My guys are fatigued. Still have plenty of food, so it might be like okay-ish. We just chill for a day. That doesn't help, actually. Let's march. Save the beasts. Concentrate defense, bushwhack. They took a slave. We made it. Brought supplies. Here, take the men. I actually don't know. Like, how many soldiers do we want to give them? More now. I want to give them... $20 soldiers. Five. 10. 15. 20. Three. Wait. Why does it feel like it like went down? 3, 4, something. Three, 6, 7. Okwo Slave Master or Okwo Taskmaster. Okay. So the guy I brought doesn't count, or I already brought them too much. Oh, you can only bring them Taskmasters if they have less than 360 preparedness. Okay. Well, that wasn't enough. We still need, what, like 80? Now, do they buy Bright Kelp here? Yes. What about Flavo? Yes. What about chitin? No. Coffee beans. Yeah. We can buy coffee. It's not really worth, but if we can collect 35 coffee, then we can sell it for 106 and buy it for 60 something. That should be worth it. But anything else here shouldn't be worth bothering with. Spices. Spices are okay, actually. You can get like 7 per stack of spice. But that's it, I think. Now what? Not worth sleeping in here. But you have to sleep in there. You cannot go out. Okay. What if we take a little trip here? And we just buy tons of supplies. You spot a dust cloud not too far away, most likely thrown off by another comitatus. Soon you and your combs come across another group of people marching, mostly humans in a single file, some of them tainted, and a few members of other races roped together. Some guards are trudging around them, armed with cudgels and whips. 2 armored spear-carrying thugs are leading the line at the front, while another 2 are guarding the rear of the slowly inching merchandise. And 4 young slaves with clean-shaven heads are carrying a simple light palanquin. One of their horsemen approaches you. "Hail, Vagrus! Do you need more working hands? All of them are healthy, young, strong, and lice-free, fresh off the market, obedient, and eat little. Good labor slaves, none of these uppity pedagogy." No. After carefully weighing options, quality, and budget, you agree that it is perhaps for the best if no transaction takes place. The slaver comitatus is on its way shortly, inching towards their destination ponderously. You and your combs resume your trek as well. Soon enough, the slave convoy disappears behind the horizon. No, I have enough slaves, that's all. All the slaves I need right now. Vernum, Ash. I mean... I guess. The Fort Refugees. Do not extend the mercenary's contract, yes. He didn't want to go working over there anyway. Nothing too interesting here. Right, not a huge, not an amazing place to trade. Two ceruleus crystals, sweet. All right, Burek, do we do this now? As discuss what the hunt will involve. Burek explains that there is a huge Jakra Alpha in the vicinity that would be ideal for what Borax has in mind. The Aetrar haven't chased it away because it hasn't bothered the tribe yet, the hunter says. But it is only a matter of time because this beast is gathering a pack large enough to pose a serious threat. Their lair is in a cave up north at the end of a ravine. If we're to do what Borax wants to do, we'll need bait. Quite a lot, actually. We'll need to blend the divine ichor into it so that once the creature eats it, the substance can prepare its stomach the way I want it, Borax adds. Then we'll also need some slime grass, too, to mask the odor of your ingredient. Once we make sure the alpha eats the bait, we'll wait 3 days and then draw it into a trap, slay it, and you can extract your imbued stomach. Borax claps excitedly. Can't wait, can't wait. Alright, we'll do that. I just want to buy my supplies, buy more grain, which stacks up to 20, buy more mushrooms. And rest. Oh, and save. Oh, maybe we can ask for a blessing. Or 3. You own 112. And selling these is just a pain in the ass. It's not even worth it. You have brought the bait and the slime grass. Burek takes the bait and the bitter-smelling weeds from you. With this, everything is ready for the hunt. He tells the two of you, give me a few minutes, then we can head out. You can initiate the hunt from now on. It's time to go on the hunt to acquire the stomach of the Jakra Alpha. Everything is ready for the hunt of the Jakra Alpha. Burek warns you that it will take at least 3 days to conclude the hunt, if all goes well. Once the preparations are done, Burek announces that he will lead a small company into the wilderness. You gather a few of your most trusted companions, while the Comitatus stays behind at Aethrar village. 5, I have to leave someone behind? I don't know. Who's worse? It's very hard. I think Harvick might be worse than Ringkylon, but it's really hard to say. They're both ass. Burek leads the group down the northern slope and into a series of ravines that run eastward off the shoulder of the great mountains in the east. The trek across the rough terrain is taxing, to say the least. Everything around you is craggy and brown, making it difficult to orient yourselves. Worse, the temperature rises to extremely hot without warning, and smoke often settles on you, making you cough and your eyes sting. Yet Burek is not perturbed by any of it, and guides you across the broken land with great efficiency. At length, you make the arduous hike up a great ravine that snakes down from the vast looming mountains above. The hunter leaves you to rest in a secluded crag and scouts ahead to find tracks. When he returns, he announces that he has found the signs he was looking for. Jakras, he rasps, led by a huge specimen, the one we have been looking for. After a brief break, you keep following the trail. Your hunting company tracks the Jakra to a cave entrance high up the long ravine. Bones and claw prints are visible all around and place even from your even from your hiding place, as well as cuts on the volcanic rock. What? Bones and claw prints are visible all around the place, even from your hiding place, as well as cuts on the volcanic rock. That is a weird sentence. According to Burek, the creatures use stones to sharpen their head bones. The hunter then proceeds to take all of you up the side of the ravine and to the top of a craggy hill, surrounded by the jagged crown. Surrounded by the jagged crown of that rise in a hole that would be the perfect surrounded by the jagged crown of that rise is a hole that would be the perfect place for a camp. Jesus. It will hide your scent, and the Jakras would have a very difficult time climbing up here. Once you establish a small camp, Morak sits down and blends the ingredients for the bait. You pay close attention to the process and see the divine ichor he has been carrying is held in a ruined crystal vial with a silver stopper. The liquid looks like blood, but is almost purple in color. Once it is done, Burek sneaks down into the ravine and places it a couple of 100 yards from the cave entrance. He is only halfway back to the camp when the first bone-chilling howls are heard from the ravine. You watch from the safety of your hilltop camp as an enormous Jakra stalks out of the cavern and approaches the bait. A small horde of its lesser kin follows it cautiously from a distance. As they close in on the slab of meat, however, the small Jakras cannot contain their excitement and lunge forward. The Alpha emits a low growl and tears two of the creatures apart before the rest retreat beyond its reach. Then, unceremoniously, the hulking beast gobbles the bait up in one bite. Now we wait. Burek, who has made it back up the camp, says quietly. The sun has already disappeared beyond the great mountains in the west, and night is quickly falling. You settle down, placing guards around the camp. Meanwhile, the Comitatus enjoys the hospitality of Aethrar. Okay. Morning comes and the Jakras leave their abode just after sunrise, heading out to hunt, according to Burek. You have nothing to do all day but wait. Dice and cards help break the monotony, but you make sure that watchmen are always spying on your surroundings. Borax cooks a fine meal late afternoon, and you listen to him and Burek recite old stories about their travels. One in particular catches your interest. It's about a hunt for a zern that terrorizes a handful of fishing villages on the mud coast near Tot. You listen to how Burek tracked the creature to its lair among half-sunken ruins after his fellow hunters were murdered by it. In the end, after getting wounded by the horrifying creature's poisonous quill, half-mad and hallucinating due to the toxin, the Bandul hunter only managed to kill his prey by accident. He collapsed a part of the ruins on the abomination. I was lucky then, he tells you. Let's hope the gods are watching now too. The rest of the day goes by uneventfully, and you're thinking about lying down early. Your spellweaver suggests preparing arcane traps. Burek agrees that it could prove useful, and after discussing it with your companions, they head down into the ravine to prepare the traps. The plan works. When the hunting creatures return from their foray outside of their lair, several small ones get caught in the snares and are slain. The rest hang around for a while, sniffing suspiciously, but then they just devour their dead and return to the cave. Hello, Despes. Have you killed any slaves today? I have not killed any slaves today. I've mostly killed some ghosts. And some worms. You will have to face fewer Jakras later on. Evening arrives with the night in tow. It is time to rest. Back in Aethrar, the Comitatus also turns in for the night. Okay. Morning arrives and you watch the Jakras leave again for the day. However, you notice that a smaller group splinters off from the main hunting pack and disappears to the south. By early afternoon they are back, and because of their approach from the southeast, they start sniffing the air, probably having caught your camp's scent. Burek says that you need to deal with them before the larger group returns and they learn of your location. And so, after grabbing your weapons, you head down into the ravine to ambush the Jakras. Thanks to Burek's skills, the plan works. He slays two of the creatures with his bow, while your companions charge the hapless survivors. The stubborn creatures stand and fight. Alright. Let's kill some Jakras. Blast them. Oh my fucking god. Put down a pot. One down. Two down. Three down. Or four down, I guess. Once the Jakras are slain, you haul their corpses up to the camp and toss them into a ravine, where the others will not find them. Burek forgoes skinning them so that their fused hide will keep them from rotting longer. The pack returns before nightfall and does not seem to notice the absence of their kin. Tomorrow's the big day, Borak says excitedly. The The ichor must have saturated its stomach now, ripe for the taking. Best take care not to pierce its belly, Burek says, mostly to himself. Yeah, Vorax nods. Vorax nods vehemently. We got one shot at this, so better not mess it up. Burek bows his head and turns to you and your companions. Sleep now. We have a long day ahead of us. Night falls soon after. While you spend the night under smoke-choked skies, the Comitatus enjoys the hospitality of Aitrar. Alright. You are awoken by Burek and raised to see the night sky enveloped in grey smoke. We have to prepare, the hunter tells you. We hit them when they leave the cavern. And with that, the group swings into action. Soon you are clambering down the slope from your hidden camp towards the cave entrance at the end of the meandering river. Is it meandering? Meandering.
Meandering.
Meandering. Soon you are clambering down the slope from your hidden camp towards the cave entrance at the end of the meandering river. Dawn breaks around the time you descend into the valley. You can barely take up positions by the time you hear the howls of the Vagrus. They could emerge from the cave at any moment now. You try to position yourselves as best you can. Very high chance, 100% chance. You are in the perfect position to bushwhack the Vagrus, and the creatures walk into your trap without suspecting anything. Once they are out in the open, you signal your companions, and you fall upon the dumbstruck beasts with great ferocity. This time, things went your way. You gain momentum on all companions. You gain precision on all companions. The hulking Jakra Alpha lets out a terrifying howl that almost ruptures your eardrums. As the echo reverberates in the ravine, the creatures lunge into action. It is only because you slew some of them the day before that they cannot overwhelm you right away. Luckily, your traps further thin them out. There's an alpha here. Ooh. Okay. One dead. Two dead. Down some pot. Mark his ass. He's weak. Really weak. And dead. The Jakra Alpha is kicking its last, letting out a mournful howl, and the surviving lesser creatures are fleeing in a mad stampede. Burek picks off a few with his bow, just like he did during the fight. With your foe dead or fled, it is time to reap the rewards of the hunt. While Burek gets to skinning and declawing the beasts, Vorax walks over to the slain Alpha giggling, brandishing a long knife. The undead cook then proceeds to cut the creature's belly open and shoves out most of its stinking innards. He reaches in, and after a minute of fumbling, he cuts out the third stomach and pulls it clean. The two of you inspect the frilly-looking lump, not minding the horrid stench. It looks purplish. This is it, Vorax exclaims. It worked! By the gods, it worked! He laughs joyously for a while, then performs a preserving spell from a scroll. This will keep it fresh as long as we need it. Burek appears by your side and offers 2/3 of the trophies, claws and skins, to you. A fair deal, considering he was indispensable for this endeavor. You pack up everything while Vorax keeps patting the huntsman on the back, thanking him again and again. He does not neglect to express his gratitude to you either. Needless to say, I couldn't have done this without you, boss, he tells you, clutching the disgusting, huge Jakra stomach with a ghoulish grin. At length, you make it back to Aitrar, but by then, the evening is already upon you. It was an exhausting trip, but it was well worth it, at least according to Vorax. Burek says his farewells, but implies that you can find him in his hut, should you need anything in the future. You will remember his invitation. 3 insight. Okay. Burek has an idea about something you could use. Burek explains to you that during the hunt he figured that you could use some of his traps on your journeys. To defend your people or to hunt, he adds. You tell him that it's true, and he offers to make some of his traps as a gift. You only need to give me some raw materials, he says. Then your own scouts and crews can take a look at the traps, and they'll be able to repair them or even build new ones when necessary. We need 6 bones. Now, if this is just normal traps, I'm gonna... He says he will get to work and that you should return for your traps in 3 or 4 weeks. And don't pester me about it until then, he grumbles. A craftsman's work should not be interrupted. Are you kidding me? It's just a trap, brother. Okay. No scrap here. The jade is worth buying here, I think. Yeah. But I don't think anything else is really worth buying. Larnak, Trictum Corvos. All right. Head up to Sadirar. About an hour after the Comitatus settles down, a terrible shriek pierces the night. Many of your crew jump out of their bedrolls, weapons drawn, but the howl is distant enough not to be an immediate threat. People are about to return to bed when another scream is heard, then another one, and another one. It goes on for hours, and the originator seems to wander around the camp. Always out of sight, under the cover of darkness, always just too far to be comfortable to investigate. A group of guards eventually set out in a bad mood to find the source of the howls and kill it or scare it away, but they do not find anything. Eventually, after hours of the bone-chilling screams, the howler disappears. Not a lot of the crew manages to get a good night's sleep, including you. The new day promises to be an exhausting one. The village. Okay. Supplies are the best thing that these guys sell. Let's get rid of the chitin here. Chitin is garbage. Ceruleus also garbage. Do they... I'm gonna sell the dragon steel, like, fuck it. It's not worth keeping around. It's just eating up space. You can't really do anything with it. That's a lot of supplies. We won't really be able to get anything worthwhile in Avernum, I think. We should just go and hand in these supplies, but we're so close to Avernum, we might as well head over there. Even at a cursory glance, the grim plains are in turmoil to the north. Fire rains from the ashen skies. Scorching winds sweep the terrain, and distant rumbles herald the treacherous earthquakes that could open lava-filled fissures beneath one's feet in the blink of an eye. Are these phenomena linked to the winds that have gone mad, or are they something else entirely? At any rate, your comitatus would stand little chance further north from this location. The rest of Tarar Barak appears to be out of your reach from here. Okay, I wasn't trying to go there, but... In fact, I should be heading more south, because we're trying to go to... Well, we can skip Kotrar. We can just go straight to Vitrar, I think. Yes, we know it's out of reach. Vitrar is over there. We are fatigued. Let's see. grain. We needed 50 grain somewhere. Drusian Quarry. No. The grain is supposed to go to the big guys. So let's just grain max here a little bit. Jade eats up space. They want grain, fruit, mushrooms, supplies. I should just get rid of this scrap metal since there's so little of it, but... Larnac, Lumen, Mirage. Nah. Let's just go instantly. Up to Utvorar. Oh, sandworm. Three slaves died. I can't reach. Some are willing to join as scouts. We take 5 fighters. Is it worth saving the chitin for a Vernum? It's not. All right. Like the thing. I don't know why it's so hard to click buttons in this game. They just don't work. Got rid of tons of guys. Okay, so jade prices are good enough here. What about spices? Spice prices are bad here. Grain is actually in demand here, but that's not why I am buying the grain. 25 mushrooms. I'm gonna sell the scrap metal. It's just in the way right now. No coffee here. Larnac. I don't think we have any mission or anything here. Other than fighting the demon, but the demon is too powerful for me, I can't. I think I might be able to fight him. I'm not sure what the other blessings do. But like, if I get the blessing of unbinding, I might be able to damage him, but I just think my guys aren't strong enough to get there before I'm dead. What does spice sell for here? No. I honestly feel like your inventory is too small. I wish it could be bigger than this. It's just not big enough. Because food takes up so much space. Like, I don't know. Alright, let's leave. Oh. Thought this was the entrance for some reason. What do you mean broken? We're not broken. Oh, here we go. You find yourself in an open field with thick green grass and blue flowers the likes of which you have never seen. Above you, the night sky is so clear that the stars and the two moons almost blind you with their light. Yet it seems that this is an unfamiliar sky, and you get the feeling that it is old somehow. A constant whispering sound can be heard, but whenever you try to find its source, it feels like it is coming from no particular direction. You can see a dark line on the horizon, and feeling drawn to it, you begin to walk towards it. At length, you come upon dark woods that stretch out as far as you can see under the twinkling skies. The whispering is closer now, and somehow angrier? You catch sight of the movement along the tangled vines and thick foliage beneath the sable canopy. As you watch, a hunched black figure appears among the trees, and the whispering becomes louder, more pronounced. Is it calling to you? You realized you must be dreaming, yet you cannot wake up. The terrifying figure moves again, now has glowing blue eyes, but it is still obscured by the forest. You feel constricted, like what sinking into the ground must feel. The figure calls to you. It knows your name. It reaches out with a shadowy limb, and you feel being drawn to it. The fear is driving you insane. Face the shadowy creature. Double resourcefulness. High chance. Fuck you. You step closer to the edge of the woods, giving in to the figure's call. It is suddenly cold. Very cold. The darkness of the forest envelops you, and you feel lost in the gaze of the horrifying thing in front of you. It reaches into your thoughts and finds them wanting. You are naked before its freezing presence. Is it laughing at you? At your miserable, weak little mind? It is now right in front of you. The features of its feminine face lost under the coldly burning gaze of its hideous eyes. You wake, screaming, covered in a sheen of cold sweat. You assure the startled guards that everything is all right, and the rest of the night passes without incident. Yet you suffer from hearing voices and reliving the nightmare for days on end. You gain haunted by nightmares. Yeah, I've been leveling my character to defeat that event, and we failed. Anyway, it's the third time I've failed now. Okay, that's what we got. We just got a bunch of stuff. Okie doke. We're gonna head over to Ash. Huh? Don't remember clicking that. Oh, I must have clicked the camp button when I moved. That's why. Going to Ash sucks. You can't follow a good path. Go. Large orc warband. All right. Come here, pussy. Ouch! One guy survived. Enslave this guy? That makes everybody happy. They don't like it when you don't enslave them. We lost 1 scout. We gained 7 scrap metal. What the fuck? That's a lot. We're gonna be super exhausted. We have pit fights. Who is decent in the pit fight. I feel like they're all bad. She can summon. Is that the good thing in the pit? When Kylon is kind of ass, Harvick is ass, Vorax is ass, Kriftai is ass. Oh, ho, ho, and good morning. Yeah, we're prepping for it with the monster here, and I had a pizza earlier too. I have some ice cream in the freezer. Ooh. It doesn't really matter if how it goes, really. It's just like, it's nice to get confirmation that your suspicion is right, you know? Because then, how about an all-nighter? No, then I won't be able to work tomorrow. Because there's like no medication or anything to take anyway. It's just all about like fixing your, like maintaining a good diet and stuff like that. And it's just nice to know that you're not making it up. Because I know like my aunt has similar problems, and she's been fighting with the hospital for like 30 years at this point, trying to like get a diagnosis, and she's struggling with kind of the same thing, which is just like feeling kind of shitty all the time. Alright, we're fighting an orc. Is he just one-shotting me? If you can tell it's there, you're not making it up. Well, it's one of those things, right? Like, I don't know how other people feel. Like, maybe it's just normal to feel like shit. Maybe. I don't know. Woo. Blast him. Ah! Kill. No, he survived. Whew. There we go. The orcs are crazy. They if they don't miss, they just attack you until you're dead with like one attack. It's just like a combo that just keeps going until they miss. But yes, we win. I don't know if you really gain anything from winning these. I gained 13 of the smallest coin. Maybe once a week or once a fortnight for a few hours. Beyond that, I don't think it's usual. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, we can buy more coffee. And not much else. Supplies. Oof. I don't know if we want to go to the quarry. Maybe we do. Slaves are being cranky. One more coffee. Tribal trinkets. That's not what I want. Tribal trinkets. No, I want Sadirar bone necklace. Slave cage. You can sell that. Standard armaments might be worth picking up. I'm not sure. I don't think standard ones are actually worth getting. So now down to Mirage. Mirage. Forsaken Colony. Larnac. Something like that. Alright, could I walk more? Yeah. Mirage. I am trying to progress in the game, but it's not easy. You have to deliver like 5 shipments of your full stuff to the place that are fighting the worms for that to actually progress. I might be able to progress it next time now, but we'll see. Don't have enough working crew. Can I whip my slaves yet? Yes. Because they're fatigued, but it's also because I don't have enough slaves anymore. I guess they got eaten by worms. Something. But now I'm actually doing another thing, which I decided to do for some reason. I'm not really sure. But it's a similar thing. We have to go here to the Forsaken Colony. There's a bunch of blue giants there. And you can trade them food and stuff. For scrap metal. And you also gain reputation with them when you do that, so I'm trying to... Which way do you want to head in here? You want to head in from this side, I believe. We just go here. Yeah, I want to see if we can get them to like me enough that they'll let me in or something. Whip the slaves a bit. There, they're happy now. The Valley of Mines. Visit the Ogre Colony. Agoram sits down with you on the cliff perch to discuss how you could trade with the ogres in the hidden colony. See how you could get metal scraps from them. Here's 25 mushrooms. 25 mushrooms. 25 mushrooms. 25 mushrooms. 4 amphora of grain. They're not actually gaining any quality. They're fresh out of scrap. What? I didn't know they could do that. Level of trust 7. Okay. Looks like that increased. See how you could get metal scraps from them. Ask what they need and what they can give you. Ask about the ogres. Ask about Archon. This requires trust 9. Trust of the Forsaken, 6 or more. Ask about Archon. Have I talked to them about this? I think so. Agram removes his necklace and shows the silver medallion hanging from it. The insignia, carved out of a beautiful piece of deep blue crystal, looks like a torch that is alight with what looks like a many-pronged star. Archon is our god, the ogre leader tells you with reverence. He is our shield and protector. His light shines upon the true path. Without his holy guidance, our people would have long been swallowed up by unthinkable darkness. And so Archon is in all our hearts and minds. In the olden days, he was worshipped by many more beings out on the realms, but since the rise of the damned, so many of his followers were lost. Agoram's voice trails off. You wonder out loud why the people of this continent have not heard of this god of light. The ogre smiles. Are you sure about that? He looks away, spying the distant horizon where a mirage dances. I leave the colony sometimes, to hunt, to explore, to learn even. One time I met a strange old man in the desert. We shared the fire that night, out in the middle of nowhere, and he told me stories. I told him some too. Once he heard Archon's name, he cackled, and said there was an old god of this world called Arcus, the son of a god king, who was also the sun when it wasn't this cruel. Perhaps he was also Archon somehow, but then he told me that these ancient gods abandoned this world, and so I am not certain. It's a little interesting when it comes to the name of gods. Hold on. This Zeus titles. A surname of Zeus. Aeneas. A surname of Zeus under which he was worshipped in the island of Cephallenia. Aethiops. A surname of Zeus under which he was worshipped in the island of Chios. Ateneus. An epithet given to several gods and mythical beings connected with Mount Etna, such as Zeus. Agamemnon, a surname of Zeus, under which he was worshipped at Sparta. Surname. What does surname mean? I thought these were like all his names. Alastor. According to Hesychius and the Etymologium M, a surname of Zeus, describing him as the avenger of evil deeds. But the name is also used, especially by the tragic writers, to designate any deity or demon who avenges wrongs committed by men. Alexikakos, a surname given by the Greeks to several deities, as Zeus. But yeah, it's just like interesting that there's like 1,000 different names here that all refer to Zeus in different... Idaeus. The name Idaeus also occurs as a surname of Zeus and of Heracles, as an Idaean dactyl. I don't even know what half of these fucking things mean. All right. Well, that's all we can do here. So we've already marched, so we might as well continue marching. And then I have 12 days of food. So we need to go to Larnac first. No, we don't need to camp. I think this is the better path. No. It's 5 to go up there. Can't reach. Larnac. 13. There. No! Worms! Ah, shit. We actually can't defend. I don't have enough resourcefulness today. Hold them off. Barrier. Shield wall. Well, hopefully they don't eat my beasts. They might. They ate a worker. I don't know where to sell these sandworm thingies. Maybe it's here. Here we've got another 10 sandworm trophies. I can't reach. The guards must have learned their lesson, because when you walk up to them for the inspection, they point out that the fighters at the back of the line belong to you. They tell you to leave the gatehouse and come back when the size of your armed crew fits what is prescribed in the law. Approach the guards. You have an idea about how you could trick the guards? No. Okay, so we can't go in without leaving a bunch of soldiers behind. Or do we just go? What's the limit? I don't know what the law is. "60 armed members. Fighters and scouts count. Okay. So I'm usually actually operating at the limit, because I usually have 40 fighters and 10 scouts. So I'm actually... No. So we have room for 10 extra. Right now we have 70 or something? Well, all right. I think we managed to leave the dudes behind there. The people that are supposed to... Actually, probably not, but fine, whatever. Let's just keep going here. In we go. But unfortunately, we used up like all of the supplies to get here. I feel like. Ouch! Fuck. Oh, it's still bugged, bro. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea how many horses they took. It says they took 33 horses, but I strongly, strongly doubt that. No, they took one horse. We can sell grain here. Coffee. Okay, so how many soldiers do we have? We have 62. And we can buy 3 here. So we want to hand off 25 fighters. $391. $396. So they get 5 per soldier. Or 5, they get 1 per soldiers. Alright. At 396, 1 supply is 4. Are we done? I think we're done. Our fortifications are in a better shape than they have been for months now, all thanks to you and the several other Vagri who brought us fighters and materials. Prince Karim announces, thanks to you we can concentrate more on the actual production of goods, not only our defenses. Your efforts saved many lives, the Krall adds curtly. Gods be praised, we have not been idle ourselves either, the prince continues. We have come up with a plan. Or rather, we have decided that we cannot stay on the defense indefinitely. It is time to act, so we're going to sit down and talk about our options. As a valuable member of the like-minded people who came together in the fight against the worms, you are cordially invited. You accept the prince's invitation. Go to the meeting of the leaders of the city's defenders. Apart from Prince Karim and Krall Hastaira, some prominent worm hunter captains, influential merchants, and the general in charge of the Tarkian forces are also present at the meeting. Welcome, and thank you all for coming. The prince begins. As you know, it has fallen to us here in this room to organize the defenses of Tectum Carvos against an unrelenting, abominable enemy with seemingly endless numbers. What a way to raise everyone's spirits, the Krall interjects quietly. Yes, well, I want everyone here to understand the stakes, my dear Krall, the prince says with a smile. At any rate, with the help of the Vagrus here, as well as some others, we are now safe and snug in our entrenched position. But for how long? Weeks? Months? And even that without being able to transport people and goods to and fro. A temporary breather at best, enough to lull us into a false sense of security, I say. Affirmative murmurs ripple across the war room. And for this reason, my friends, I bring to you on this auspicious day a plan that the Krall and I have concocted to pluck us out of our predicament. You are listening intently. Everyone else does too, and once Prince Karim has made sure that all the eyes in the room are upon him, he begins. The plan is to draw the worms into a decisive battle and beat them once and for all. The attendees begin to argue and protest almost immediately, but the prince silences them with a hand held high. I know what you're thinking, friends. I know. We're in a deadlock. And the worms can't get in, but we can't go out to the sand because there they have an edge. They are practically invisible until it's too late. But there might be ways to draw them out of the sand and keep them there, preventing their escape. For that to succeed, we have to lure as much of them as possible here. All of them, if we can. And then we spring the trap. The Krall puts a thick leather-bound codex on the table, and Prince Karim points at it. We've found the accounts of a similar war against the worms, penned by my ancestors from 250 years ago. In that conflict, the Sadirar are mentioned to have fought alongside us Tarkians, and they... He opens the book at a marked page and reads, shook the writhing worms out of the sand with earthquake and gale. Evidently, the Sadirar shamans of today are our best chance to beat the creatures, the Krall says, and so we need to contact them, appeal for their aid. We also need an army capable of beating the worms once they are drawn into a trap and are robbed of their ability to flee, Prince Karim adds. And so the time has come to call in some favors. One such person would be the magistrate of Crystal, who owes yours truly, the prince begins to list the people he wishes to recruit for this war. Similarly, Prince Lakor, a sovereign of dark elves in exile, is indebted to me, Krall Hastera says. But that one will be more difficult to collect. No ruler wants to hear about owing anyone. He must be offered trade concessions, just like our next candidate, the Prefectus of Avernum. Prince Karim continues, the Avernus Legion under his command is a force to be reckoned with, and I'm afraid we'll be unable to prevail without him. Lastly, we have had word of an insectoid race appearing in Darnak, the Krall adds. Everdark, where my people come from, has stories about this Iskori. They are herders of Yrgs, and we have reason to believe that they have exterminated worm-like creatures in the realms below. I say we get them to join us. Let's not forget the Sadirar shamans. Prince Karim raises a delicate finger. We have no easy way to contact them. Their overtribe with the highest-ranking shamans is up northwest at the feet of the Mountains of Fire. Someone has to go there and make them listen to our plea for aid. The Krall looks at you meaningfully. There might perhaps be others, Prince Karim concludes. Any faction or force that has an interest in this no-man's land, but no trading houses. The price would be much too high for their assistance, so much so that we could kiss our town goodbye. The prince turns to you. If you manage to convince these parties to fight with us, return here. Use whatever is necessary. Persuasion, arguments, lies, bribes, promises. But don't give away the town, please. Until then, the Krall and I will be bolstering our own forces and prepare the trap for these worms. They have addressed everyone in the room, but you are sure that such negotiations will be your responsibility in the present arrangements. You tell them that you will get to it. I'm done with most of these. We can just go there and ask them, I think. The Avernum guy and maybe someone else we might need to do some stuff for, I suppose. But it should be good. Visit the worm hunter's habitats. No, I don't want to buy. I want to sell. Alright, well. That's good. That's some progress there. Yeah. We need to go to Avernum now. Right now, let's see. We are in Pectum Carvos. Spice. Spice is actually worth buying here and selling in Sadirar. We can do that. What about grain? Not worth buying here. Titan, not worth buying and selling anywhere at all in the entire world. In Larnak, you can buy it a bit. What about Bright Kelp? 10, 15. Is it worth going to Larnak before? It's really far off. Is it really? I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. Going there for Bright Kelp before we go to Sadirar. We might as well just go here and just supply maxing, I think. Pretty much. But I think that'll be that for today. It is midnight actually. And we'll see. We'll continue some more. I'm just trying to progress the story here a bit. So we can maybe go to other areas. So we'll do the worms, and after we do the worms, we'll go and try to progress the wind stuff, because the wind seems to be the absolute main quest, really. Because the wind is blocking off... The wind is blocking off this entire area down here. Right? And this, like... And this... Everything here in the Forlorn Waste is blocked off. This is blocked off. So the dragon area, I think you can probably not get to before you deal with the wind, because otherwise you can't get up to the other gate. You could maybe circumvent the gate by just going through the forest or something, but I don't know. I don't think you can because they have flying dragons and they always find you. Etc, etc. So it would be nice to see the world opening up and being able to go to other places more than like the 4 towns that I've been going around in a circle. Like literally, I've been going like literally 50 times in a circle around here at this point. So it could be nice to try something else. Also, we might be able to afford the settlement. I'm not sure. I don't know. I've lost a lot of money. I had 800, but now I only have 300. I don't know how much you need exactly. If it was like 1,000 plus, like 1,500. Not sure. Anyway. That'll be that. Until next time. Thanks for hanging. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Also, on Friday we're playing Path of Exile 2. That's what's happening there. Because there's the new league. But yeah.